Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to American Truck Simulator, where today we are taking a tractor from Carson City in Nevada all the way down to Carlsbad in California. So we'll be taking the route that brings us pretty much through the middle of Tonopah. Does that bring us like straight through the middle of Tonopah? Along the side of Tonopah, which it's impossible to go through the middle of Tonopah, I guess. Skirting the outside of Fresno and Bakersfield, as well as Barstow, and then straight down to Carlsbad on a road we haven't been down yet. Good. We are starting off pretty much clean, I guess. No damage, no sleep needed, no fuel needed. On top of what we've got in the tank. 1,360 miles of fuel in the tank. Our journey is 623. So we got about double the amount of fuel we need. And we have $15,000 in the bank. So let's get going. In the last stream, I actually upgraded the gearbox of this thing because the 13 speed was getting on my nerves. So I now have a 16 speed or an 18 speed box in this. Which means now to get up to 30 miles an hour, I need 5th gear. Which is genuinely helpful. It gives me more options when I'm just driving around, just faffing about, essentially. I also had to change the braking characteristics of the truck slightly. Because there was an issue with one of the loads that I had. I need to indicate. So off we go with our lovely Dear John tractor. Somebody's paying us a lot of money to move just a tractor. It must be a very rich farmer, or the dealership in Carlsbad is out of tractors. Oh, we got a limit of 70. So once we get up to 5th gear, I start using the low and high ranges, because these gears have I need to now remember what my windscreen wipers are. There we go. First time in a while we've had rain, so this is now turning this journey into something a bit more interesting than I was expecting. Complete with rain. A thunderstorm. Lovely. So we got a 70 mile an hour speed limit all the way down to Tonopah, in theory, or the California border. Whichever one we hit first will be slowing down for that. I hope this rain doesn't last too long. I might actually turn up the rain chance in the settings after this, just so that we get rain just a bit more often. I do prefer driving in beautiful sunshine, but you know, the weather doesn't always cooperate. Although in California and Nevada I should probably be turning down the rain chance. So we're going a good 66, 67 miles an hour. We are picking up a bit more speed, or speed a bit better than we would in the 13 speed box, because we got the full. That was a loan repayment. We got the full 18 speed box now. And yet again I'll be manually modulating speed and throttle and whatever. In theory I won't need to do it much, so hopefully it works out nicely. The rain hopefully isn't... I knew I meant to get a mod. I meant to change out the physics mod I currently have for a slightly better one, and I forgot to. because the wobbly camera in this physics mod does get on my nerves quite a lot, especially if and when I crash. Or take a corner a bit faster than I probably should, or go over a bump a bit faster than I probably should. It just causes the camera to go wibbly wobbly everywhere. Like, even right now I'm just going over some light bumps and you can see the camera bouncing up and down, going uphill. In reality you wouldn't be moving about that much in the cab. You'd just be chilling and looking straight ahead, essentially. There would be a small bit of bouncing, yes, but not like 6 full inches of movement. 6 inches to a foot going over a small little bump at 70. And actually quite a large bump, because a small bump would cause big problems at 70. And we're up to an 80-mile-an-hour speed limit, which basically means foot to the floor and let's get going. Except I can see Tonopah, which means we'll probably be slowing down. Yeah, we're slowing down here. There we go. We're at 30. Wipers off because the rain has stopped. Just gonna cruise through Tonopah in high 5th gear. That light's about to turn red, isn't it? Yes. So there we go. First gear, slap down to first low. Off we go. We'll use all the gears this time. Never mind, we'll just use the high gears. Because it's actually impossible to use all the gears going up. There we go. 30 miles an hour. Should be, yeah, we're leaving Tonopah now, which means we'll be up to 70 until we get to the border with California. There we go. Let's just get a bit more acceleration out of this. And yeah, just a nice little cruise onwards to the California border now at whatever speed we can get up to. Never mind, we're gonna have to slow down for this corner coming up. Oh, we have to head through Death Valley? How interesting. Also interesting that it's actually signposted as Death Valley, which I guess it would be. I kind of never thought of that. I'm hoping this area of the map is hard-coded to never get rain, because it is, I believe, the second driest area on the planet after Antarctica. At this point people are saying, what? No, Antarctica's covered in snow, it's one of the wettest places on the planet. No, it's... There are areas of Antarctica that have gone 200 or 300 years with no snowfall, with no precipitation at all. Antarctica is actually one of the driest places on the planet. It's just a snow desert. Or an ice desert, I guess. Death Valley is a second driest and historically hottest. It has recorded the hottest surface temperature in history. So That's where the minor misconception the Death Valley is the driest place comes from. Don't know why that truck flashed at me. I mean, I'm going under the speed limit. Is that the California state line? Yes, it is. That's the first time I've actually managed to spot the state line. In the 30 or 40 hours that I've been playing this, that's the first time I've actually found the state line properly. And seen it coming up and being able to react to it properly. So it's 55 max from here on out. And there has been a small update from SCS on the progress of Arizona and kind of what to expect. And they were talking about it's on Steam and their blog and their website if you want to have a look at it. They were talking about basically the Vive la France expansion for Euro Truck and Scandinavia as well. Two recent expansions for Euro Truck have basically allowed SCS to start developing new types of roads. So at the moment they're quite large modular pieces. However, with the development of Vive la France and Scandinavia, they're starting to get develop smaller modules for the roads, which basically means that the roads are going to look a bit more realistic and a bit better. Which is going to mean it's going to be slightly better. I mean, people are complaining that, oh, I've actually seen it, but like people complaining in the comments, oh, SCS, ooh, you can't use, oh, we're a small developer and we don't have much money for as an excuse now. Because you've got, oh, it's 18 Wheels of Steel. Blah, blah. 18 Wheels of Steel is one of the most highly regarded simulators in history. If ATS feels not like it, it's because it's a spiritual successor. I mean, people are complaining that, oh, this feels too much like a game that everybody really liked. Okay. 18 Wheels of Steel was actually made by SCS. So, where's the problem? I mean, it may feel like 18 Wheels of Steel in terms of the road network and the scale, but I mean, you're hardly going to have a real scale, are you? Are these the kind of people who want to legitimately drive 8 to 12 hours? I mean, some of these deliveries are 13 hours in game, so I'm presuming they'd be about the same in real life. 13 hours for one delivery? No. You want a scaled down version that is plausible for gameplay reasons. You don't want to be driving for 55 along a road like this that's just a dead straight line, because I know a lot of the interstates in America are dead straight lines with occasional right hand turns, especially in places like Texas. And that, holy crap, the turns largely are just to account for the curvature of the earth. I don't know how I didn't flip the truck or did I did pretty much no damage with that? What? Okay, so for those of you who wanted to see me put the truck up on all of the wheels on one side, congratulations, you've got your wish. I don't ever want to do that again. Although it did make me feel like James Bond. I mean, that was awesome, but terrifying. And yeah, those of you who want me to do, I guess, stunt driving, was that a UFO or a fighter jet over on the left a second ago? I suppose technically it is a UFO because I can't identify what it is. So that was a UFO. I think it might have been a fighter jet. You might not have seen it, was like 3 or 4 pixels. something like appeared and disappeared on the left, very briefly, and it was flying, essentially in this direction. There goes the helicopter. So that was a bird, just kind of hovering. That's kind of odd. Yeah, sorry, I kind of got distracted by almost flipping the damn truck. There are roads, I know in America, there are roads that they go for like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 miles in a dead straight line, maybe even a couple of hundred, and then there's this very gentle right turn. The reason that very gentle right turn exists on those dead straight roads is oh, maybe it was just a bird flying past, because that bird looked suspiciously similar to whatever it was that I saw a minute ago. The reason for those gentle right turns isn't because the designers got lazy or they, could only get this track to land here. No. It's to account for the Earth's rotation, so that on a map the line is dead straight. Those little, very gentle, a lot more gentle than this, right turns that will periodically happen are to account for the Earth is, the fact that the Earth isn't flat. It's to allow the line to be perfectly straight on a flat surface that projects like the Earth onto a flat surface. So on any map it'll be a perfectly straight line. Is this guy trying to pass me behind? If this guy behind me wants to pass me, I will pull in and let him pass. I'm not going to be that douchebag who's just going to hog the road. In fact, I'm turning off here in a minute, so it doesn't particularly matter too much. Just gonna just flash my indicator once to tell him I'm turning off here. In reality, I would actually do that as well as just give a quick flash to let him know. Oh, it's a truck. Just to let them know, like, that you're. Yep, I intend on going in this direction. Let's just keep it in 6th high here, because this seems to top out at 55, which is maybe a bit better for driving, essentially. It looks like we're getting fairly close to Carlsbad as well. Oh, it tops out over 55. Doesn't particularly matter all that much. Bit of tumbleweed. More tumbleweed. We are driving into the night. 6 hours since we heard the oh wait, no, almost 8 hours. I apologise. Since we heard the ding 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 of the loan being paid off, in game anyway. And it looks like we're coming close to our destination. Perhaps. Truck's kind of struggling. There is a slight incline here, so the tractor is pulling backwards on the truck. And we're flattening out here, so the truck is going to start gaining a bit more speed. Very nice. That looks like something out of GTA. It actually definitely does, that motel. I think they used a similar model, if not the same one. Though I wouldn't have used the same one. 2 different graphical styles, so it would have been a different model. This bloody tumbleweed is getting everywhere. One thing I don't like is you can drive straight through it with no effects. I'd like to see a little particle effect if you hit some tumbleweed. Where you get like 1 or 2 strands of tumbleweed coming up and just hitting the windscreen, or the windshield, whichever you want to call it. Looks like we're turning right up here, yes. I mean, I know it's rude to just pull out like that, but this thing struggles at times to pick up speed, especially when there's a hill, so I just wanted to try and keep... I didn't know this hill was there, but I'm glad that I decided to try and keep the momentum up now. That looks like a speed limit sign. It's not. Amazingly, somewhat surprisingly, there hasn't been a single way station on this entire journey. I say that. Is that one up ahead there? No, that's a rest stop. There hasn't been a single way station on this entire journey through Nevada and California. Wow, buggeration. I really do hate traffic lights, they just kind of get in your way constantly. There we go. Why is there a speed limit sign in the middle of the town, by the way? I didn't even get up to 30 miles an hour coming through the town. That is wonderful nonsense. Let's back up to 55 we go. Hopefully I won't get called away from food. I am pushing it fairly tight with the whole I could potentially have to run mid-video thing today. Because it is currently 6:48, 35 even. And I don't know how much longer I'll be able to record before I'm called away for food. Don't want to be done for speeding if I can avoid it at all. There we go. So that's the turnoff for LA. That means we're somewhere near Barstow, I think. Maybe. I did intentionally slow down there. I don't want to try and manage a six-wheel truck again. Let's pull into this lane. Is this lane coming to an end now? And were we back in Nevada there for a second? Where on earth are we? No, there was a very brief stretch of road around here that was a 70. That was odd. Because I just saw the speed limit jump from 70 to 55. Oops. I was in the wrong gear, sorry. I was wondering, I wasn't looking, and I was just like, oh, I wonder why the engine sounds so funky. It's because you're just downshifting instead of upshifting, you numpty. It looks like we're gonna cruise at 37 miles an hour around here because the truck does not want to accelerate much. Gonna throw on my full lights, and as you can probably see, I've got the brighter lights mod, so it does make it a lot easier to see at night, although there's a lot more black space now. The ground is better lit. It's like the truck has those LED bulbs or a crap ton more of them. So when we arrive, we're going to make sure everybody in our delivery point knows that we're there. Which is going to be a thing I'm going to do from now on, is just make sure everybody around the area knows that the delivery has arrived, because they've been eagerly awaiting the delivery of their tractor at midnight for whatever reason. I know I could wait until morning to finish the delivery, but it's much more fun to I think they know by now. I think they know their tractor's arrived. Just making sure. Okay, so let's go low and reverse. Another thing the brighter lights mod does is it boosts the reversing lights, so I can actually see what's going on behind me now. It also rather comically makes every other bright light in the game a lot brighter. So even the street lights are much brighter than by default. Issue is reversing at night is apparently very difficult. Yeah, I'm actually gonna pull forwards now and just use this as an excuse to straighten up the trailer. Just so the final reverse, which this should in theory be, can be done at some speed. There we go. And T. Excellent. 633 miles using 161 gallons of fuel in 13 hours 7 minutes, $15,000 and 920 experience, giving us a grand total of $25,000 and 23,000 experience. So I think that's going to be it. I need to before the next video I'll be having to rest and refuel and all that kind of stuff. So until then, thank you all very much for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.